Hello everyone and welcome to Journey with the Colors again. As you can see, I'm in my car, but it's not because I'm going to work. Actually, today we're on a little journey of our own. We are going to the Starved Rock Lodge and Conference Center in Utica, Illinois, which is also in the middle of Starved Rock State Park. So what are we doing here today? Well, we are going to go have some lunch at the restaurant, and then we're going to go on a little bit of a trolley ride and a guided hike to hopefully go see about 3 of the waterfalls that are over here. So who's coming with me? My daughter, Hope. She's so excited about being in my video, let me tell you. So let's go find out what this is all about. Takes about an hour and a half for us to get to the Starved Rock State Park, so let's go. Okay, you guys, so this was on the way there. Of course, this is pretty much how Illinois looks if you take the interstate to go anywhere. So I just took a couple recordings of us on our way up there. It's mainly just cornfields, and then of course the highway, and then every once in a while you'll see like a cattle farm or something like this. So it's just, it's kind of a boring ride. Now, if you do take the back roads, and take a little bit more of a scenic route, you'll see a lot more as far as, forest stuff and trees and small towns and things like that. But taking the interstate is a little bit boring. And so then we got to Tunica, which is kind of a little bit outside of Starved Rock, and then got closer to Starved Rock. And the closer we got to Starved Rock, the better it was. So we were on our way to go to the lodge, which would take us on a tour of the different canyons, of 3 different canyons and 3 different waterfalls that are in those canyons. And so I was pretty excited to do this. We haven't been on really any kind of a trip since we got back from Disney at Christmas time. So this was kind of fun. And as you can see, as we're getting closer to Starved Rock, you can see, there's more trees. There's, it's a little bit prettier. I think this would be a great place to go in the fall, especially so that you can, see the fall leaves changing. So that might be something we think about doing. So, it's just something we decided to do this kind of last minute. We had decided to go the day before. The ticket prices aren't that expensive. It was $38 per adult. And that included your lunch and then the trolley ride to the different hiking trails, and then on to the canyon. So that's not very expensive at all. And of course, here we are actually entering Starved Rock and trying to find the lodge. Now, the funny thing is I actually missed the turn off for the lodge, which you'll see here in a little bit, and I ended up having to turn around and go back. So let's continue to watch.
Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route.
Stop saying.
Proceed to the route.
Were we supposed to turn back there? I think we were. Darn it. Get turned around. We can.
Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route.
We left early.
Proceed to the route.
Okay, I hear you.
Proceed to the route.
It says do not enter, but I'm going to enter anyways because I got to turn around. There's nobody coming, so we're fine.
In 900 feet, turn left onto East 875th Road.
Okay, so where was the turnoff? Because it wasn't marked very well, was it?
Turn left onto East 875th Road. 1/4 mile, turn left.
Signage would be nice. Okay, so there's like the parking lot, so it's up here. I saw it, but I guess I didn't pay attention that much.
Turn left, then take a slight right turn.
Campground Lodge that way. Okay. Alrighty, we have found it, I think. Ah.
Take a slight right turn. In 1/4 mile, the destination is on your right. Starved Rock Lodge and Conference Center.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so here we are at the Starved Rock Lodge. And as you can see, there's some cabins back over here. We passed some like equestrian camping places, little soda machines. We're coming up on the lodge up here, which looks pretty cool. There's one of the cabins. 2. So it looks like we're gonna go over Fox Canyon. So the state park has several canyons and several waterfalls and lots of trails that you can walk. We've never actually been to the park. We've been to one of the other ones that's kind of attached to this park, which is Matheson State Park, or I can't say it, Mathewson, I don't know. But anyways, we went to that one a long time ago and saw a waterfall. Actually, Hope was so little she don't even remember it. And so since we had a good time today, we thought we'd just get out of the house and go on a journey. Wow, that's a big canyon. Look at that. Some nice rock formations. All right. Okay, so here we are walking up on the hotel, or lodge as they call it. So it's a really pretty place from what I can tell. Might have to book a room here one night. Come and stay at the lodge and be right in the park. It'd be kind of cool. Okay, so here's the inside of the lodge. It really does look like a lodge. We're at the restaurant part, which is where we'll meet and have lunch, and then go on a hike and see some of the park right out there. It's really cool. I like this. Up here now. So this is where we're meeting. It's very pretty. Love it. Buffalo head and a moose head. And the old lanterns. And we should be going to eat pretty soon. Okay, so here we are in the dining room. It's really cool. And then this is our menu, which all looks good. I have no idea what I'm gonna try. Let's find out. Okay, y'all, so look at this food. It looks super cool. And of course, Hope got the same thing I did. Shoot, pickles. So let's hope it's as good as it looks. Look at these homemade fries. Oh, I just dropped a tomato. Homemade fries. Yes, very good. Excellent. All right. Looks like we're in for a good lunch. Okay, so after a fantastic lunch, we are outside just exploring before our trolley ride leaves around noon. Right now we're just doing the overlook here from the lodge. Very pretty out here. So this looks like this just kind of goes around the whole lodge out here. You can walk around and see something. So we'll see you in a little bit on the trolley ride. Okay, so here's another one of the little overlooks. And if you can see this black flag over here with the American flag on top, that's supposed to be Starved Rock, which is where supposedly the natives starved to death when they were trying to stay away from the enemy. Can't see the rock though, but you can see the flagpole where it's at, I guess. That's kind of neat. It's very pretty up here. It's a little bit breezy. A little chilly yet. Hopefully it'll warm up a little bit more. All right, waiting for the trolley still. So these were just some of the sculptures of animals and some of the native artwork that was around the lodge itself. So I just put a couple pictures in for you guys to see. So there's our trolley. Trolleys are so cute. And of course, us being goofy and taking pictures before we got on the trolley to take our first hike.
You in the woods and back. I'm Don, so just sit back, relax, and let's all go out and about and get lost together. Alrighty. 99 miles there. I'm the only one?
Okay, so starting off, our lodge back there and the cabins that are by the lodge, they were all built by the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, in the 1930s. That was a group of young men, 17 to 23. They didn't have many options. It was the Great Depression, but they got $1 a day and free room and board to do hard labor for not just Starved Rock, but for lots of state parks, national parks. But here they did paths, buildings, stuff like that. And it was a way to get the economy flowing again back in the Great Depression. They only got to keep 5 of their $25 a week. They actually had to send 25 of their $30, actually a month, sorry, back to their families. And most of these guys had to go into World War II. This is a canyon right here. This is called Tonti Canyon. There is currently no hiking into the canyon there. Now over here on your left side, you're going to want to watch for a waterfall right past this curve here.
There it is.
Gotta look through the trees. This is the waterfall for LaSalle Canyon. And so Tonti, the one that I was just talking about, and LaSalle, this one, these two canyons are connected in a horseshoe shape. And actually, before the park was founded, they used to be called Horseshoe Canyon collectively. But then when the state took over, they said you can't have two canyons with one name. It just doesn't make any sense. So they renamed it to one is Tonti and one is LaSalle. This canyon right here is called Hennepin Canyon. There's no trails in the canyon, but there are trails over the canyon. There's a footbridge right there. So right about here, the trolley and the highway are both sitting on just about 5 feet of sandstone. And that is all that is underneath the highway at that point. And I will show you that spot in about 15 minutes. Here's the Illinois River. We call this the Wide Rivers because this is the widest point in the Illinois River. We have lots of weddings in the lodge, and a lot of them want a picture in a canyon, and they'll come down here with their dresses and their shoes and everything. And a lot of them do go all the way into a canyon, but some of them, they see the trail and decide they don't want to do it. So they'll stop right here, and it gives the illusion of a canyon. Sometimes there's even a little bit of a waterfall in there. We're also going to see all sorts of spring flowers on the way. Pretty sure these are geraniums.
So these are just a few of the pictures that I took as we were walking out to the first canyon and waterfall. It's gorgeous out there. I hope you all have some time to go and see some waterfalls. I absolutely love them.
And there's a creek over here, so they sort of are just taken over here. This spot right here on the wall, we call that the boot, because if you look at that mossy part, yep, at the mossy part and the part underneath, it looks like,
It does look like a boot. Look at that. Oh, that's cool.
there's a bumblebee, a huge bumblebee up there.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Okay, so this part here was where actually when they said we were above the limestone on the trolley, this is actually what we were driving over. So this was all that was holding us up on the road. It's a little bit scary. But this cavern in the limestone is a really awesome place. It's where Indians used to gather. They used to have fires and stuff in there. So it was really cool to see it. But it's also where the limestone is kind of wearing away. So it's a little bit scary as well.
So we actually have to cross this creek 4 times because it's like winds around the trail that we have, but it's pretty low. So you can find a way to cross it like on a log like this, or you can walk through it, whatever way makes you comfortable. You also don't have to do it. If you're not comfortable doing it at all, you can stick here because we come the same way back.
I did it. So this here is basically a lot like the other one that we were in, except for this one is just kind of starting out, so it's smaller than the last one. But she said eventually this will all erode out just like the other one, and that it will probably eventually end up collapsing that wall, which is a little bit scary, but it'll be millions of years from now.
So this chunk of sandstone actually fell recently in the last 2 years, and it's a pretty good example of what's going to happen over the course of millions of years, because you can see the creek is undercutting the wall, and over time the entire wall will fall, and so if you come back in millions of years, just like for the sheep over there, it will be gone. That's people just seeing the video.
Oh.
Now, it looks kind of cool. That's people that did it in the last year and stuff.
Oh.
It's really shallow, I hope. really stinking cool. And of course, you have to take as many pictures of possible as you can with the waterfall. I love this waterfall. It was very pretty, and it was really cool that we could get up and go behind it and take pictures. So I just took as many as I could, of course. There's also a few pictures in here of kind of like the canyon around it. And then also some of the pictures that I took as we were walking into the canyon. Just so you know too, that this sometimes is a bigger waterfall or smaller waterfall depending on what the thaw is for the season, as far as when winter is thawing out and stuff.
Blue looking stuff. It's called horsetail grass. That is ancient, just like everything else around here. It used to be like a foot around when this area was warmer, but as this area got, cooler, it had to get smaller so it could survive. And actually, over the course of millions of years, and this plant, being, crushed underground like a diamond and whatnot, this actually became coal. We have lots of coal in this area, and this is what gave us all that coal. That didn't sound good.
Running again. Stop number 2.
Okay, so have you guys ever heard the legend of Starved Rock? How Starved Rock got its name? No? Okay. So we're going to tell my version. So it starts with 2 Native American tribes. They were rivals. The Illinois and the Iowa. They both lived in this area. They had disagreements over trade with the French, because the French were the first European occupying force here. And so back then in the 1790s, to settle disputes, the chiefs would have a wrestling match. So these 2 chiefs during the wrestling match, the Ottawa chief stabbed the Illinois chief, and that's not legal. So, however, the Illinois chief did survive. But the Illinois, they were still super angry about it. And while the Ottawa were down in southern Illinois negotiating trade with the French, the Illinois brave snuck up behind him and buried a hatchet in his head. And that was the last of him. He was done for. So now the Ottawa have no chief, and they're the angry ones. They know where the Illinois live. They come down here on the Illinois River, where their villages are, and they start ransacking them and murdering their people. And so the Illinois have to flee. And so they sought refuge on the top of Starved Rock because it's right along the river. They thought it would be a good defense position because you only have to defend one way. Unfortunately for them, there was no epic battle atop the rock. Instead, the Ottawa just surrounded the base of the rock and waited them out. They knew that the Illinois did not have any food or water, and it would just be in a matter of time before either they died up there or they would come escaping down and they would just kill them then. The Illinois tried to escape in the night, but they would be killed. They tried to lower skates into the water, but the ropes were cut, so they were stuck up there. And over the course of a week, everybody was dying and then dead. They say that it was starvation, of course, because of the name Starved Rock. But we know that you can't starve in a week. So more than likely, if the story is true, they would have died of dehydration
And of course, now we're off to our second canyon and second waterfall. And so this was a very steep set of steps that came right down from the highway. The trolley just pulled over right next to it. And the steps were very tiny. We're like barely bending your knees to go down to the next step. So it's quite a little ways down there. These are tiny steps.
We've got a couple invasive plants over here. We've got this purple creeping Charlie. That's like toxic to dogs and stuff, and it grows in yards a lot of the time. There's also this garlic mustard. It has tons of seeds, so that's how it spreads so widely. It's actually from like Europe. The only place that you're gonna see pine trees here at Starved Rock is for a very simple reason. It's because deer love to eat pine tree saplings. So if it's anywhere in a normal flat piece of land, a deer's gonna get there and gonna eat it before it can grow. On the top of a cliff with precarious location there, a deer can't get there and they won't eat it, so that's where it survives. And if you look down there, along with the blue phlox, there's that umbrella-looking plant. That is called a mandrake or a mayapple. It actually does grow a plant, but if you eat it when it's not ripe, it's poisonous. If you eat it when it is ripe, then a lot of people make jams and stuff.
So did you know that limestone, you can actually break it up with your fingers, but trees and stuff can't wiggle their roots through it. So they actually are growing on the dirt on the top. And if a really heavy windstorm comes, it's really easy for the wind to knock the trees over because they're not in the limestone itself.
So, like Don said, this is our tallest waterfall at 80 feet. And the sides of the canyon are 100 feet and 105 feet.
Why bother, right? It's that big thing with the legs. It looks
Do you see over there in the wall, there's a big cave? It's back that way. When we go back there, I'll see if I can show it to you.
So of course you've got to take more pictures, and then we were off back onto the trolley for the next canyon.
I'll leave whenever you leave. Actually, I'm not sure when I have my phone. It is slippery. Yes, all the sand. There you go. Good job.
Almost didn't make that last step.
Excuse me.
How long are you going to stay there? Well, her foot was dying. Is it okay?
She just doesn't like the wet feeling.
Okay, so you can get up here however you want. Just don't step on this middle part. Because it's super slick and you're gonna fall, pretty much guaranteed.
What? Oh, for sand.
Now as we're walking into this canyon and waterfall, you'll start hearing this really loud kind of whistling noise. That's the frogs singing us a song.
Do you want to get up there, Sarah? No. Do you want to go take it? No.
It's amazing to think that this was like a stream that just cut away at the canyon over
Maybe
time.
some slivers to deal with later.
Like over thousands of years.
So that was the last of the waterfalls, and then we hopped back on the trolley and went back to the lodge, where we and my daughter Hope went and got some ice cream and went and saw some of the gift shops, and also I show you where the check-in desk and all of that at the front of the lodge is. So this is just us kind of spending a little bit of time eating our ice cream and all of that. It was quite fun. We quite liked it. Okay, everybody, so that's the end of our trip. We're back in the car and on our way home. It's getting pretty warm out, and we had a nice time. We got some ice cream at the end, and I bought a great big river otter. We bought a couple shirts, bought some fudge to take home to everybody else, and I think that's about it. So, hope you guys all enjoyed this little journey. Have a good day. Bye. Say bye, Hope.